Okay, ruffle shuffle the cards and let's go one more time and see what it has to say. You know, I think I'll do the other type. And let's just see. We're going to do a Lenormand and the Sacred Shichiro. We'll do this again. Let's see what it has to say real quick. So I'm going to pull, what is it, 12 cards this time. This is a little smaller read. It's about a message. Let's see what the message is. Give these a good ruffle shuffle. So the first card out is message. The writer. A message about refreshing, okay? Breaking out of the old, bringing in with something new, seeing with new eyes, okay? Sometimes we need to let go of stale old things and just, again, sometimes it's about breaking out of your old shell and going, playing, doing something, again, to refresh. Because we're at a crossroads. The energy now is about a crossroads. Let's see what the crossroads is. Crossroads when it comes to consuming. Okay? What? That's pretty funny. What are we consuming in the world? Okay? Now this could be on so many different avenues. It could be physically things we're consuming. It could be just what we're listening to, what we're taking in, what we're imbibing. But it's at a crossroads when it comes to consuming. This could also have to do with tariffs, etc., but let's go forward and see what else it says. So for today, it says where things are moving to. Things are in motion. The journey is on. When it comes to being at a crossroads and the deception. Okay, so it looks like this is about what we're listening to. Okay, refreshing our things. You know, some people just listen to Fox. Okay, and they've been deceived and they can continue to consume deception, which is not going to bode well. So if you're consuming things that are deceptive, that are not aiding you anyway, it's time to refresh and go a different direction, okay? That's the message. The message is about a crossroads, and what are you taking in? Are you going to sites that are just the doom and gloom and drama, okay? Now, it's like I said with the evangelical churches, some of them, they might as well just rename them, and rather than call them evangelical, okay, they should just name it Church of the Golden Calf, okay? When they have preachers up there putting Trumpenstein on a pedestal, okay, this guy that's a con man, and they're out there preaching these deceptive things, it's time to change your church, okay? So the challenge is what's being cut, or perhaps what needs to be cut. When it comes to triumph, okay? So what do you need to cut to have a triumph? What do you need to get rid of in your life in order to go forward? What's holding you back? What type of deceptive ship are you riding on that's not taking you where you want to be? It's time to sometimes reevaluate and again, pull out of the old stale drama and do something new. So let's see. Potential outcome is anchoring. Anchoring what? The unknowable. Okay? Anchoring in the unknowable. So sometimes, it's about we don't know what's going to happen. A lot of people want to plan every single thing of their life. Okay? And sometimes you have to trust the universe. You have to anchor in the unknown. Sometimes we think something is going to be tragic and then we find out it was for our good, that something was beneficial. Okay? So let's see what else we have. There was something that happened to me just recently, and I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was grace. Something didn't take place, and I had to go a different direction, and it wound up being absolute grace that I did. I'm not, well, we'll see. So anyway, the extra information is about what's blooming, what's flowering. What seeds have you planted? You only get the harvest of what you're planting. Karma. Yep, that's it. What you put out is what you're going to get back. And you just have to trust the unknowable. You have to trust the unknown. Sometimes it's about unions. Again, what kind of alignments, what kind of things are you putting out there? It's about also who and what you're trusting as well. Now, there are those that, again, trusted the ketamine kid, and they trusted, Trumpenstein, the Orange Menace. And what happened? Now they're ruining the day that they did. Now these things are coming back on them. So the message today is about refreshing, breaking out of the old, seeing with new eyes, new experiences, okay? At a crossroads, so look at what you're consuming. What are you taking in every day? What's feeding you? Is it feeding you or is it poisoning you? Okay? Is it something beneficial or not? Look at the ship. Where are you going? And are you following deceptive things? Are you following wolves in sheep's clothing? If so, it's time to change. So what do you need to cut out of your life so you can triumph? Okay? We all sometimes have to cut things out of our lives that are not beneficial, that are holding you back. So it's time to anchor in the unknowable. Sometimes it takes trust. So what are you trusting in? Where are you putting your faith? Where are you putting your trust? Because wherever that's at, what's going to flower is the karma. The seed you plant is the harvest you're going to get back. So, what seeds are you planting today? Are you planting seeds of hope and resilience and that things are going to work out for the better? Or are you planting seeds of doom and gloom and drama? Okay? It's all about what you're putting out there and the life that you're living in every moment. Okay? So what are the harvests that you're going to get back? It's the seed you plant. If you plant seeds of hate and division, you're not going to get harmony and love back. That's just the way it is. Okay? So you've got to be open to again, trusting the universe. So what just popped in, okay, as I was talking about this, was something that happened when I was in high school. I went to this thing at Big Bear Lake, and it was a Christian thing, and we're going out and passing out these flyers and things during the Rose Bowl parade. Okay? Well, what happened? I got left behind. They forgot me. And here I am in LA. I have no money. I don't know anyone. Okay? And they left me behind by the Rose Bowl parade. Well, I went walking, and where I went was in an area that was, what do you call the area where a lot of people of color are living? Watts? Is it Watts? Anyway, I'm walking out there in this area, and this guy comes to the door. He goes, "What are you doing out here?" And I explain, I'm walking. Well, oh my God, girl, you. And I wasn't, I wasn't afraid. Why do I have to be afraid? And anyway, the guy was really sweet, and he transported me back up to Big Bear Lake. But he was like, "Oh my God, why are you out here? It's not safe for you." This was kind of, I guess, during the time when they were having riots and all this other stuff. Well, I never, held a bad thought about people, no matter what race, color they are. So, I was just like, I'm just here. And again, sometimes you're in a place and you get that grace. So open up to the unknowable, okay? Because you just never know what grace can come, and you've just got to plant the harvest out there of love and compassion, etc., and then you'll get that harvest back. But, yeah. I've had a few of those types of stories in my life, where the universe did just, took care of me. Okay? But, yeah, this guy was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing in this area?" Oh, yeah. Reminds me of the time, though, when I lived in LA and I did this singing thing. They were honoring the guy that did this. If I remember right, he was the one that wrote the song, and it was the Black Musicians Union, okay? And they had this big to-do, and so he was up there, and we were doing this song. Well, I was the only white face in the place, and I almost caused a riot. They were so angry that I was there. So why was I there? It was a black group, and it was that song that goes, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, that's the way I like it, Well, he hired me because I could do that high part without a problem, so we didn't think anything of it. We're doing music. We didn't have any big, to do about, the fact that I was white and they were, as a black group. We're doing music, okay? Well, I almost caused a riot. They were not happy that I was there. But anyway, it worked out. We were fine, but yeah. I've had a number of crazy things just take place in my life. But yeah, that one was pretty funny. It wasn't funny at the time. It was a bit frightening at the time because they were really angry that I was there. How dare you bring a white woman on that stage for this Black Musicians Union? Oh, mercy. Anyway, so just, look at what you're putting out there. Again, the seeds you plant are the harvest you're going to get. And maybe it's time to pull some weeds that you've got there that are choking the life out of things. You need to weed the garden sometimes, okay? So on that note, I'll leave that here. We'll see you online.